Focus Warrior podcast.
Bro.
John and Aaron, bro, we had to start this,
Yeah. Yeah. And you know
bro.
what? That was way too much fucking energy based on the conversation that we had offline. But yeah, you're so right. We had a really great fucking conversation for at least 20 minutes. And it's like, no, there's no topic of conversation here. But I think there's a word that comes to mind, as we were talking, and it is hesitation. So I think that's what comes to mind for me. But bro, the reality is that both of us have had a pretty interesting couple of weeks, I'd say. Yes, there's been celebration along the way, but for men, and this is something that I think really hit home with what you said, like how super fucking important it is to have a brotherhood, how super important it is to
Oh,
have just a brother to talk to, because in all honesty, man, if we didn't have this conversation earlier on, would you be having that conversation with someone or anyone?
no,
Yeah.
no. I don't have, I mean, again, I have my boy Eric out here. Shout out to Eric, right? He's my brother. Um, but the thing is, Aaron, is there's just, and I think could be said about with a lot of men, right? Instead of having the conversation, you don't have the conversation.
Yeah.
And then when you blow up, you look like a fucking asshole because, quite frankly, you are,
Yep.
because you didn't express yourself in the right way, man. And that's what I've been going through this week. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah,
Fuck.
you're right. I wouldn't have been having the conversation had I not been able to do this with you tonight.
I think you would have had a conversation with people around you, especially brothers around you, but it wouldn't be in the same context. And I think also the conversation would be like, what are you going through in that moment? And it all started with an injury that you had, and it's like I know innately that anything we think on an emotional level, especially from a man's perspective when it comes to repression and suppression, mate, it's just a matter of time before that pressure cooker fucking moment starts to build up and then you lose your shit. But at the same time, also, what's going to give up first? Is it going to be you losing, your cool, or is it going to be your body's going to break first? And when you have a look at our bodies will tell us anything that's going on. It's a sign of dis-ease. It's a sign that there's a misalignment somewhere. Problem is, being men, she'll be right. We tough it out. We fucking ignore it. It's like it's not that bad. So we don't pay attention to those signs. And when we don't pay attention to those signs, in a direct reflection of that, it was we're not listening to ourselves. Fucking something's not right. Shit's not going on. But because we find it so fucking hard to communicate, our way of communication sometimes comes across as too abrasive or too abrupt or too arrogant, or we lose our shit. We can't come from I think you said it before really, really well. And you're going to have to refresh my memory here. It's like, that grounded place, that coming from a place of love. It's always aggression, because that's what we're
Yeah.
feeling, and that's the fucking battle we're having in our own heads. So yeah, really super fucking cool conversation we have, and you're right, it needs to come here, and I want to put it out there to a lot of the brothers. I actually want to put it out there to a lot of the women as well. It's like that um, in their experience, what have they felt, whether it be with a partner or a past partner or even your sons? How's the conversation for them? Um, yeah, it's a fucking tough one, but it's so hard for men.
Ah, bro. Yeah, it's one of those things, man, where you just said it best. All the battle is right here. So because you're battling yourself, the first person that you cross paths with gets the battle, and it has nothing to do with them at all. But you're just, it just comes out. And bro, why do you think words like toxic masculinity happen? Why do
Mm.
you think that stuff happens, dude? It's because most of the time it's us in this battle, and we're just throwing words out there that make no damn sense. Not even topic of conversation. We're just bringing stuff up just to bring it up, just
Mm,
to be a jerk or to get our point across or whatever it is, man. And Aaron, I'll say this, man. You get the word that I like to use, and I've been using it for a while now, man, and it seems to keep coming up is humble. When a man gets humbled, I shouldn't even say a man. When I got humbled, you have no choice, dude, but to just go, you know what? Sure, right. I am being a dick.
mm.
Instead of, I know that's how I am. That's how I've always been. You're not going to tell me what. Instead, you go,
Oh, yeah.
damn,
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
damn, you're right. Fuck. It's a And bro, if you don't do that, then things like you say, bodily injury, man. You've been in the game 30 plus years, bro. How many times have you seen people lift angry? And then right behind it, they've got a knee injury, they've got an elbow injury, they tore their pec right off of their freaking bone, and because they thought they were the Hulk, because all of the things that stem inside their brain because of what's going on at home, they're out there lifting heavy, and then guess what happens? The body's like, oh no, let me stop you right there. We can't handle all this,
Yeah.
right? Isn't that what you were just telling me offline?
Absolutely. I'll go through a personal story with me. And I realized this, fuck, I probably realized this about maybe 5 to 8 years ago, that all through my bodybuilding years was my armor. It was my way of protecting myself. But and I always know that when we lift heavy and we have to challenge our bodies, we got to challenge it in a way that if you're not lifting heavier, then your muscles aren't going to grow and you're not going to get stronger. So you've got to kind of not only face the fear, but also there's got to be a driving factor behind it. And for me, driving factor was to, look Jack, the Adonis, look like the Adonis, so I can make more money and I can get more sex. That was my why. But where did the fuel come from? And it came from two places. It came from anger and it came from pain. They were my driving factors with me when it came to my bodybuilding. And I used that as the fuel to be able to lift heavier and not only lift heavier so I could be more jacked and more lean and so I could get more sex and make more money. But then I kind of realized that I'm never going to get rid of the pain. I'm never going to get rid of the anger. What I'm doing now is I'm channeling that into my workouts. I'm channeling that a into something that is going to hopefully give me a result. You listen to Andy Frisella, he turns around and says that personal excellence is the greatest rebellion. And so for him, he's had a lot of haters. So he's now using that as a fuel to go, fuck you, I'll show you kind of mentality. And hence look what he's built. So he's still got all these haters that are now coming at him. And he's like, well, fuck you, I'm just going to prove you again over and over again. So I think for me, when I look at the pain, it's like, well, what is that pain? Well, it's a childhood trauma. It was also right through my whole, young years, early teenage years that I was never good enough. I always considered myself being the ugly duckling. I never had a girlfriend up till like 16, 17 years old. Like I was that guy. I was that kid going through school that never really got looked at twice. I was always kind of picked last and in sports, even though I fucking played sports my entire life. I was that guy. I was the guy that was also, back in the old days, we had a game called Bull Rush. Do you know what Bull Rush is?
No.
Fuck it. Okay, so it's a New Zealand Australian thing now. Bull Rush is you have two lines of well, you have one line of kids at the end of, say, a 40 line. So if we got the 20-yard line and the goal line, you got a line of kids, and they're generally just all boys, all line, and one person has to stand in the middle and stop anyone to get to the goal line. So you call out a name, and then all of a sudden you call bull rush, and everyone runs, and you've just got to try and catch someone, you know? So
Yeah, yeah.
So I was either the guy that was always running down the outside where no one could get you. I was always the last guy to get called out, or I was the guy that was always going to get caught first because I was the slowest and fucking, whatever. So bull rush an interesting game where you can either go straight down the middle and face the fear and try and run over the kid that's trying to stop you or tackle you, or you can be a fucking pussy and you can run on the outside where, you're furthest away from everyone. I was a pussy. I was a kid that was always running on the outside. But the moral of the story there was that all through my teenage years, I was never looked at. I didn't have a present father to help me, battle the shit I was going through as a teenager. Never had a girlfriend. You go through your early teenage years where all you want to do is you want to get a girlfriend because all your mates are getting girlfriends, and it's just the thing to do. But I never had that, and there was a point. I think I might have mentioned it in a podcast before. There was a point where I just did not want to be here. Just didn't want to be here. It was just too fucking painful. I felt so alone. Um, both my parents are alcoholics, and I don't blame them at all. They did the best that they could. I don't blame them. But I could not deal with life. I could not deal with reality. It was all too fucking hard. And I felt extremely alone. So I think what I did is I found in my early 20s, or even 18, 19, I found the gym. And the gym for me was a place where I could be accepted, where I was just like everyone else in there because everyone in there was, fighting their own demons and fighting their own battle, but they also were all there they just wanted to improve. They just wanted to be better. And I think the best thing for me is that I went to a gym. The owner of a gym was this fucking jacked dude. He was strong, bodybuilder. Took me under his wing, and helped me through and supported me and, taught me how to lift and encouraged me all along. And that at that moment was when I felt like, okay, I felt like someone. And as a kid, it's fucking hard going through life when you feel alone. And then all of a sudden you find that in the gym. And that's why I've been in the gym for 30 years, is because
Wow.
I know what it can bring. I know how it can help someone. And in your case, when you get to a point where you've hurt yourself and you can't fucking do that, guess what goes on in your head? Everything that you've been able to control, everything that you've been able to put, you know, in its place, fucking
Dude.
it's like that overflow of emotion, overflow. It's like you've got you got a leak, and all of a sudden, you're gonna have to empty the bucket out every now and then because otherwise, if you don't empty the bucket, it's gonna overflow. Guess what happened? Yeah.
Well, man, I love that you said that, Aaron. It's such a good way, right? Because to your point, right? There's all these sayings. There's and it's so many come to mind right now, but this is what I'll say. One of them is, let's see, a healthy person wants 100 things. A sick person wants one thing, obviously to get healthy again, right?
Mm,
And that's just a saying, right? It's a quote. But what if you're living it, right? It becomes this whole other battle, dude. And to your point, right? It's injury. You injure yourself. I hate it. I don't like it. I want to feel better. That's my only focus. And everything else, like you said, just like you said, bro, everything that I was in control of, mindset,
yep.
uh, everything that all blows up,
Yep.
just blows up because now you're just like, all of a sudden, all I want to do is feel better. It's a real thing, Aaron. It's not just a quote. And so I really take this, man, as and I take it just as a humbling tool for me because I look at this and go, man, first of all, the human body is amazing, right? What I mean, it'll be your best friend, but it'll also be your worst enemy if you treat it wrong,
Mm-hmm.
right? And treating it wrong also means your mindset now blows up with it because everything you've done to personally develop now gets tested. And if you're not in that space of, abundance and appreciating the fact that, all of these things happen, they continue to happen every day, dude, the second sign of trouble, the second time you have trouble, it's like, forget it, forget everything. I'm out. That's it. I'm done. Okay, well then you just proved that you're not ready.
Yep.
This is a test. This is another level to the game that you need to be able to master. You're not ready for it. So I guess not. I guess we're not going there just yet because you haven't shown that you're worthy of it. It's so crazy, Aaron, that it took for me to get injured in the gym in order to see that.
Yeah, yeah. But
Humbling,
you
dude.
also, but getting into the gym as well also shows you what you're capable of as well. With a little bit of effort shows what you're capable of. Now, the really interesting thing out of all of us, and now you're seeing it. Fuck, I experience it every day. I think the diff. Well, it takes a whole heap of learning. It takes a whole heap of understanding our patterns. It takes a whole heap of understanding of holding yourself to the highest level of accountability. You know, discipline and all that. Look, I haven't been to the gym for a week. You know, physically, I'm not feeling amazing. However, there's still movement there. I haven't been able to go to the gym. Like I know that I'm carrying, I don't know, virus, some, immune compromised thing going on at the moment, which is testing me because men are physical. We're physical beings, all right? And we're very, very different to women. We're not the fucking same. Women are emotional, we're physical. So if we can't do anything on a physical level, how do we feel as a man? And we feel like shit. We feel like we're,
And imagine, dude, imagine being injured and asking your wife to do all those things, right? I mean, once again, another one of those things is being a good receiver.
yeah,
And imagine asking for help where normally, like you were saying, you're the one that is able to just do it and go. And you just,
yeah,
now all of a sudden you're having to step back and watch somebody else do your job essentially, right? Which is what goes on in your head as a man. And you're like, I don't like this. I don't like it at all. So yeah, yeah, I want you to continue,
games.
bro, but that's a good way to put it, man.
Absolutely. The games you put in your own head as well is that you say, and when you have to ask for help and you can't do the simplest of tasks that you're normally just like an everyday thing for you and you're seeing someone else do it, what are you saying to yourself? Oh, you're hating on yourself. Like, it's just fucking pathetic. So the one absolute practice every single day is alignment. How aligned am I? And that's mind, body, soul. And my body's not doing what I want it to do at the moment, but where's my mind and where's my soul? Am I still listening and being
Ooh,
guided by my soul? And is there an alignment between my mind, body, and soul? Yeah, like I said, my body's not doing what I want it to do right now, but what is within my control is my fucking thoughts, my actions, what I do. Okay, I can't go to the gym. Great. We'll spend that time wisely, build your fucking business. There's still things you can
wow.
fucking do. Don't don't be and this is that low vibration mentality. And when you look at emotions, it depends on who you speak to. There's a whole spectrum of emotions. There's like levels of emotions from guilt and shame up to love and happiness. And there's some coaches that say, yes, there is that spectrum of emotion, but then other coaches are going, emotion's not anything that you want to hold on to. It's a nothing thing. Don't hold on to an emotion because it's really a nothing thing. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make it really, really simple. Is that physically, if you're so used to doing some physical things and all of a sudden your body breaks and doesn't allow you to do the things that make you feel good, where's your mindset going to go? There's going to be guilt, there's going to be shame, there's going to be also doing the things that you're not normally do. Eat cookies and have fucking, full cream coffees and shit. You're going to start acting out that are a little bit like completely off your routine and habit Richter scale. Because what we're wanting is we're wanting comfort. We're wanting some love. We're wanting softness. And what do? We go for emotionally comforting foods, things that bring
Mm.
us love,
Mm,
sweetness
mm,
to make us feel a little bit good. But then when we've had that, what are we doing? It's that vicious fucking cycle. Then we're going into that guilt and shame. And we're going, you fat cunt, why the fuck did you have that for? But it's a vicious fucking cycle to get out of because that one thing that saves us, and that's movement and going to the gym and feeling strong and feeling fucking sure of who we are, we can't do that.
mm.
So it's
Wow.
so fucking vital. And this is that whole one-dimensional, bullshit that a lot of men get into. So it's so fucking vital to have a look at making sure what are you working on every single day. What can you do for your body? Well, just move. If you can't go to the gym, just move your body. Make sure you're eating right because that's one thing you control. Make sure you're listening to yourself, your soul, pray, meditate, breath work. Just get in touch with who you are because you can still do that. forget about what you're saying to yourself, but you can still do that. The other thing you can do is you can still get close to your partner or your significant other. So you can still build that relationship from a communication perspective, and you can build your business. So there's still things every single day that you can do. And once you start to only rely on that one thing to make you happy, just like a relationship can't make you happy, you can't rely on the gym alone as going to help make you happy. Because at some point you can't do it. You feel lost. So you need to find.
Damn, dude, that's good, Aaron.
So
That's
for me,
so
bro,
good, dude.
that's
Damn.
that's been me for the last couple of weeks, man. It's been, well, okay, I have to get back to me. So it's, regular meditation. It's like, well, calm the mind because it's going to go fucking chaotic. You're going to fall into the guilt. You're going to feel into the shame. You're going to feel into the anger. You're going to feel into all those vibration emotions that are going to make you feel like shit. And what happens when we feel like shit? We're holding on to anger. And what are we going to do? There's that pressure cooker fucking moment, bro.
Bro,
It's
I love that you did that. I love that you did that, bro, because here's the thing, man. I think that at some point you start thinking, I don't need to do everything every day, such as journal, such as meditation, such as write gratitude, right?
that's a lie.
Dude, it's such a lie, Aaron. And I'm
Yeah,
telling you,
yeah,
bro, I
yeah.
just know that I've gone through it where I'm like, well, I made it. Well, I guess I don't need it anymore. And bro, now is when I need it more than ever. And I'd like to think is
Mm.
being in the coaching space for as long as I have, you would, once again, man, we're all human beings. So by nature, our minds are always messing with us.
Fuck.
It's just
High achievers, though.
power of that consistency, bro, is just unheard of. You have to do it no matter what. It's just,
Yep.
and as I'm saying this out loud, man, this is actually just a testament of me as well. Just going, you know what, man? Come on, dude. This is why we say this so much. It has to happen. It's a non-negotiable for a reason, bro. So I love that you put the gym analogy in there too, man. Is that when you fall in love with that and then it goes away, you
Yeah.
just, like you said, boom,
Yeah.
right? And then the coffee comes in, and the donuts come in, and then everything else comes in because I can't go to the gym, right? That's what it comes back to because
Yeah.
you put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah. And I want to preface though that a lot of high achieving men go through this. When you're a high achiever and you're just wanting so much out of life and you're like really striving and, or again, desperation, like all these things come in, that's when you start to kind of get lost in your own thoughts and, all of that. The other thing that, why I am the way I am and I think the way I think is because you look at what we experienced over the last 5 years, bro, here in Australia, and I lived in Melbourne, we were in fucking lockdown. What did they do? What was the first thing they closed down when they were, 2 weeks to flatten the curve? Bullshit.
The
Closed the gyms.
gyms, and that was your all whole entire being, right?
Closed the gyms. Now the other thing they closed is they closed pubs. So
So
you
you
couldn't
couldn't drink,
couldn't drink.
or well,
So
you could, I
all
guess
these
you could
men,
drink at home, but
yeah, yeah, and look, a lot did, and that's when domestic violence went up. Because guess what? A
wow,
lot of men were doing. Men were going to the gym. They're going to the pub to suppress all their emotions or repress their emotions, and they couldn't escape. They had to face their emotions. They couldn't face the emotions, and guess what happened? They were all pressure cooker moments. So the biggest thing though is that there was something already broken in your life, and all you're doing is using the gym or using alcohol or going to a pub, to distract yourself from it. It was already fucking broken. So if you couldn't do those things, it exposed itself, and
wow,
that's a big reality. It's like have a look at your own life. What are you doing to distract yourself from the fucking true work that you've got to do?
damn.
It's fucking
I hope you guys are, I mean, everybody listening right now, I hope you guys are hearing this, man, because this is Aaron and I mean, this is we said when we jumped in here that, we're continuing conversation that this is what both of us are struggling with right now, right? Is just we've had those moments where,
mm,
we're not feeling at top level right now, right? We know we're top level individuals, but at the moment we're struggling in two different areas, right? And so it's just it's so good. I like doing this, Aaron, because it's not just here's what you need to do. Here's a strategy. Here's two
fuck.
men
It's
right now.
not
Here's
that
two men
easy, eh?
that are not at the where we want to be in this moment, right? Meaning where, like myself, I'm injured right now. The gym has been a little bit of a struggle. My mindset's been a struggle. Everything's been struggling for me right now. So this is just me being very vulnerable with you guys, is that look, it's not every single weekend are we gonna come on here and be like, yeah, let's go, let's do this. I'm just not in that, and I'm not in that space, but doesn't mean I'm gonna stop.
Mm,
But I also had to get out a lot of things that were in my mind that were keeping me stuck. And like you say, bro, until you face that, you end up staying stuck or doing things that are going to absolutely worsen any type of goal that you had. You know what I mean?
100%. And you know what? Everything that I've just mentioned is not the conversations that I have with my clients all the time. It's the fucking conversations I have with myself every single fucking day. Every
Man,
day. It's a constant battle. Because at any moment, like I said, when I was 16, I wanted to kill myself.
yeah.
The thought of suicide. And, I'm going to get raw here. And I know that there are people that are going to listen to this and they're going to feel the same way. You sometimes think that it's all too fucking hard. Why do I have to go through all this fucking pain? Why do I have to struggle? Why does it always have to be so hard? How come I can't make the money I need to make? How come I've got fucking people banging down my door demanding money? How come I can't find my rent? How come I can't do this? How come I can't go to the gym? Why am I always so injured all the time? Why am I so tired? All of these fucking things that we keep telling ourselves. It's like the thing that kind of creeps in every now and then is like, it's that conversation that can come up and you go, how do I make the pain stop? How do I make it all go away?
Mm. Anybody has the answer to that question, brother?
So that's why
It's
every day, bro,
man.
every day I have to have these conversations with myself to keep on going.
Love that, Aaron. Dude, I'm adopting that from you, brother. And again, not that it's nothing, not that it's new, right? But sometimes you need a brother, and this is why you were saying this earlier. Sometimes you need a brother to tell you, you know what? Not even telling you what to do, right? Because we know
Mm.
people don't like to be told what to do. But through my boy's story, right before we jumped on here, and even right now, bro, that you're saying this, I'm like, man, you know what? That's what I need. What Aaron is doing, I need to do that in my way as well. I need to put that in the mix as well. Bro, and that's how you get inspirational with people, right? You don't tell people what to do, bro. We can't. We could tell people till we're blue in the face. This is what you need to do. Doesn't mean they're going to do it, right?
Correct.
How I like to receive is hearing somebody's story and going, that helped you? Oh, you know what? I can see that in my life. Aaron, you just gave me some gems that I am now going to use in my life. And one of them is, like you say, having the conversation with yourself about, worthiness, about, journaling. Did you calm your
Mm,
brain? You
mm.
can't go to the gym, so what does that get replaced with? What healthy habit does that get replaced with? Not, oh, fuck, I can't go to the gym, so I guess I'm just gonna go sit on my ass and do nothing all day, and I
Eat
guess
a
I'll
bag of
just, it is what
chips.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eat a bag of chips and be a fat cunt and look at yourself in the mirror and go, yeah, fat cunt. And it's like, mate, vicious circle.
But yet,
Yeah.
and yet, 6 days before that, you were doing amazing.
Mm.
And now on day 7, when you can't go to the gym, it's time to just forget everything. And I'll do it, start again on Monday. Bro, they're real thoughts, Aaron. Dude, you're speaking to my heart in so many different levels, bro. And I think it's just because of the fact that nothing new, bro. But I really want people to receive it that way. I hope you guys listening are really receiving this because, again, especially with somebody like myself who, once again, not feeling the best, got injured, and so now I'm like, I really need some brotherhood. I really need to talk to my boy. I need to just have him sit and listen to me complain and then go, now what?
Pretty
I
much.
love that, bro. We've done that for years, and
Yeah.
I just love that about our brotherhood. And I hope, for the guys listening, I hope you guys have that. We know females, we know the women, bro. I've said this a million times, man. They just got that on lock, dude. They can, ladies, you guys just run circles around us when it comes to that stuff, and I just want a piece of it. That's it, just small little piece of it that I could use on my brother the same way you guys do that without any effort. You know what I mean?
Because we've all been through it, man. We've all experienced it. Some of us stay stuck, and the rest of us look at it and go, "How did I get myself out of that?" And the one thing I think that always comes in because you do it through your consultation. It's like someone will say something to you on the reason why they want to do your program, and how many times do you ask why? You ask them why 6 or 7 times, 5 times. Yeah, constantly asking why. So you want them to get in deep. You want them to get in the deep, and when you start to do that to yourself, like you've come a long, long way when you can start doing that to yourself. Now, it's not something I do regularly, but I actually did it a couple of weeks ago when I went to this really cool event. We had to say why, but this was 6 times. It was on five. This is like fucking 6 times. Like, why? And if I'm going through a really shitty time and I'm giving myself a hard time, my routine's been fucking blown out of the water, and I just want to crack the shits, and I just want to either punch a wall or throw something. The one thing I always come back to is three really, really simple words. It's not over.
Whoa, dude, I just got goosebumps, Aaron. Holy crap, dude.
It's not over. We ain't done. We ain't done. Because
Wow.
when you get there, it's like, okay. But it's not about proving it to someone else or proving it to anyone else. No,
No,
it's not that, eh? It's not that. Nah, nah. You
it's
prove it. Yes.
you.
Fuck yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, these little sayings that you get, you versus you. And you're like, oh, that's cool. But when it really is just you looking in the mirror,
Mm,
any type of valley, right? Peaks and valleys we talk about all the time. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. But when you're down and you're looking at the mirror because something didn't go your way because of something you couldn't control, or somebody made you mad, or somebody this, or somebody that, or you are talking to yourself like shit, or you injured yourself in the gym and it's you versus you, why is the other person in the mirror kicking your ass when that's you? You're doing it. You're handling that for you. And bro, I love that you said it's not over. I hope that ends up being the title because I love how that just rolls into our lives. And if everybody could just adopt that, even me, bro, I'm telling you, I'm taking all these gems from you, man. I'm just thinking to myself, these are things that need to go in the mindset, especially during times when you don't feel like you're all the way up or even capable of
mm.
doing what you do every day.
Yeah, just try it, eh? Just try it. Like when you're just feeling shit about yourself, you're down on yourself or something's not going according to plan and you've had those conversations, just sit there in silence, take a breather, close your eyes, and just tell yourself it's not over, and then you'll be really fucking surprised what comes up. It's a bit of an avalanche, bit of an avalanche. So we're warning to everyone when you actually start to get to that point, there a lot has come up. So yeah, man, it's where we are. But there you go. That was
Yeah,
supposed to be a
let's leave
quick
it
20
there,
minute.
man.
It was supposed to be a quick 20-minute conversation, but it went
No.
real deep. But you know what? Fuck, I just had a feeling. I just just tuned in and felt like that what needed to be said, what needed to be said. So there we go, bro. There we go.
Well, I appreciate you, brother. Like I said, both online and offline, man. You definitely have you know, you you helped get it out of me, if that makes any sense, right? I mean, it's not that's the thing, everybody's like,
You're
no,
welcome,
you did
brother.
it. Yeah, you're right. I did do it, but I did it listening to you speak to me and then went, oh, trigger needs to come out, right? Trigger needs to come out. And that's honestly, bro, can't thank you enough, brother, for just
Safe
being
space,
being the
man.
man you are, being my brother. And again, I say it again. Hope most men have a brother that they can go to that's going to give it to them straight, but also just be there for them when they need them.
Correct, correct. It's just about having that safe space, and no judgment. Because fuck, I've been there, bro. I have been there, so there's no judgment. It's like, okay, let's get past this. Let's move on. Your body will heal, and you'll get fucking right back into where you need to be in no time. So let's make that happen. So,
Let's
man,
do it.
thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Thank you, bro. Thanks, guys. Till next week.
Take
Oh,
care.
Aaron,
Yo,
it's June 1 where you are,
where I
correct?
am. Oh, What's happening June 1 Mountain Standard Time?
Well,
7 o'clock.
two things, right? There's two things I want to put out here. Sorry, guys, we had to do this real quick. First one, tomorrow we are launching the Mindset and Muscle
It would have
movement.
already been launched, by the way, guys. If you're listening to this, it's already
If
launched.
you're
It's
listening,
fucking,
yes,
it's
yes,
up.
yes.
It's happening. It's here.
Up and running. Yes, by the time you guys hear this, it will already be out. But it's official. It's happening, bro. You're getting, and myself, you're getting Aaron, you're getting two solid, solid men that are going to come in with, bro. Hey, you know what? I could give it away all here, Aaron, but I'd really
No,
rather
no.
have them go.
Oh,
So
yeah. You want to
can
know?
do that. But, dude, that's the first thing.
Comment under
Second,
YouTube. Comment. There's comment section on both Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Comment. We'll give you all the
yes,
information that you need.
you need the info, we got you. Now, the second thing is, bro, some in celebration are in order, man. 2 years
Oh,
worth of this podcast.
dude.
What?
Episode 97, which
What?
means which means this is episode 97. So you can have a look. It's 52 weeks in the year. We have not had a lot of time off. We have
Yep.
fucking kept a promise since day one that we're going to do this weekly, and we fucking have 97 episodes, bro.
You know what I'd love to do, Aaron, and we don't again not this podcast, of course, but just love to maybe think about some stuff. We'll talk about this offline, but I have some ideas on episode 100 and what we could do with that.
Yeah,
So
man. Fuck.
yeah, bro, yeah, 2 years, man, I dig it.
Celebration time. Celebration. See, there's always rainbow at the end of a storm.
Yeah, I love it. I love that's the way we end it, bro. So thank you, my brother. I appreciate you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you too, brother. Thank you, everyone, for joining,
Take care,
and
guys.
chat soon.